Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the JumpCrouch Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Matt, and I am joined today by Peter.
Timberwolves and 6.
What? Something about 6.
Timberwolves and 6.
Okay, yeah, I've still got no clue. Still got no clue.
Jesus. The Minnesota Timberwolves will beat the Denver Nuggets in 6 games in the basketball championship. They're happy.
Okay, so come on, some commentary. Fair enough. I'm with it. Wrong channel. Anyway, I'll carry on. Wabby?
We dive together or we don't dive at all.
Yeah, that'll come quite apt very shortly, that one. And Wake Up.
I didn't do it, I swear.
I didn't do it. I didn't. I don't. I hope not. I don't even know
Right,
what you.
Shaggy.
Arr.
Not that Shaggy.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't even Chef Scooby-Doo.
It wasn't me.
Shaggy.
Right. Okay. I balls that up to start with, aren't I? Never mind. Right. Hello. Right. Let's see what we've all been up to, and then we can crack on into some fun conversations. So, Wabby, what have we been doing? What have we been playing? How are we doing it?
I'm good. I have been watching. I'm going to do playing as well, but I've been watching some Bad Batch on Disney Plus. That is now finished. Apparently, the last of the Clone Wars era content as well. So, very sad. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It was a very good ending. In terms of what I've been playing, I have been playing Jedi Survivor because that has just come onto Game Pass, and it is absolute. I don't even know how to describe it. So it had some issues on launch, let's say, with performance on PC, and those issues are all still there. But I've been stubbornly playing it anyway. And I've also been playing some Manor Lords.
Manor Lords, which we'll get into a little bit later. Which will be quite good. Thanks, Abby. Thank you. Wake up. Hello. How about you? What have you been on with?
Well, I'm still here, so something. But yeah, I dabbled a little bit in Manor Lords. I need to put a bit more time into it, so we'll get that one out of the way. I've also been doing a bit of Sniper Elite V2. And to my surprise, I didn't realise I didn't actually finish the game, so I did that.
What, Sniper Elite 2?
Yeah, I've had it for ages, and I got so far, then I stopped for some reason, then I went back to it this week, and then I looked at it and go, hang on, I didn't finish the last, well, I didn't even finish the second to last level, and then just why didn't I finish this? So it baffled me, but no, I've done that now, so that's another game complete, and then
one of those that you catch up many years later.
Yeah, I don't even remember why I stopped playing it. It's just I started playing it, get all the collectibles, but then realised I was missing a level. So I don't know why I did it, but never mind. But I also put a bit of time into Batman Arkham City as well.
Good lad. There you go, a bit of a bringing it backwards then for you with Sniper and Batman. Like it, love it. Peter, how about you? What are we doing? How are we doing it?
Well, on a PC normally.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm still plugging away. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Just made my way through it. Just a little bit at a time. But main games I've been playing the past 2 weeks. Played a little bit of Manor Lords. We'll get into it later on. But I started and completed Open Roads. Don't imagine everybody's heard of it.
No.
It's on Game Pass. It's a very short game. It's only about 2.5 hours long.
Sounds quite good.
It's from the makers of Gone Home, which is utterly fantastic. I recommend absolutely anybody play it. Gone Home. It's such a good game. Open Roads is not quite as good. Basically, is a very simple story of a mother and daughter try to unravel the secrets of their family past. And yeah, it's basically a walking simulator, but it tells a fairly compelling story. As I said, not as much a fan of it as I was of Gone Home, but I very much enjoyed it anyway.
He's Gone Home on Game Pass?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Perhaps I haven't looked for it.
Game
Shouldn't
Pass,
you
you've
know
let me
this? You're
down.
the Game Pass expert.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So, anybody, if you have an Xbox or a PC, please make sure that you do have Game Pass. It's fantastic. I think for Xbox or PC only, either one, it's $8.99. If you have both, I think it's $13.99, and you get a hell of a load of games for it. Yes, I am not sponsored by Xbox. Carry on. Okay, so
I mean,
yeah.
if you want to sponsor this Xbox, then just
Yes.
send me an email.
please, yes. My check's in the mail. Nice
I'd
one.
rather be sponsored by them than sponsored by Sony.
Oh, we'll get to that very shortly. Very shortly. Nice one. Thank you for that, Peter.
I've
So,
not finished.
oh, you're not finished. Oh, sorry. I'm jumping gun, son. Jumping gun.
Oh,
Crack
you
on.
should quick to get off.
I know. I am. I'm,
Yeah, trigger on you.
I'm like, Pete, shut up. You talk too much. No, go on, mate. Carry on. Carry on.
I'm sorry. The big game I'm playing all weekend that stopped me from finishing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Actually, I'd only wanted to play about an hour of it, and I've literally spent every gaming moment since Friday playing it is Eowyn Chronicles: 100 Heroes. It is a JRPG in the style of Suikoden, which was a series that Konami used to make. Do you remember Konami? Remember they made games?
What, really? Where? Many years ago. Many years ago. My God.
Ah,
I thought they only
was-
made like a couple, like Metal Gear.
that was the time. Remember when Konami made games?
Ah,
They made money.
back in the 90s. Tell you.
Yeah, it literally was the 90s, yeah. 90s, early 2000s, you know, back when they made games and then decided that, no one wants games anymore. Decided to cash out in the last console generation, and yeah, we're still here a decade later. So good job, Konami. I'm sure your executives paid handsomely for that.
I like how you just had to try and put on a Scottish accent, even though you are Scottish just then.
I didn't. I just went in with like a deeper tone of Scottish.
Oh, right. I was going to
Yeah.
say, I know, I'm Scottish. I'm going to put on a Scottish accent. Not
Yeah,
quite
it's like Dragon Ball Z when they power up, just went deeper into Scotland.
I'm going to go more English. Good day, mate. Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
Australian.
Fucking
Anyway.
Australia.
Wow.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
you
you
need to
yeah,
go
done-
more
done.
posh, don't you know?
Oh,
That's
oh,
proper English.
Indubitably. I do apologise, darling. Yes, I forgot about that one. Oh, lovely.
High society.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Is that everything, Peter? I don't want to.
That's me.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I don't want to cut you off again, do I? I'll get slapped this time.
No,
Brilliant.
no.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
Nice one.
Oh,
So, myself, what have I been doing? Well, I've been Steam decking. Love it. Can't get enough of it. It's great. Take it everywhere. I'm obsessed with it slightly. Still on Ghostbusters as well, which is playing beautifully on it as well. So I do highly recommend if you've got a Steam Deck and you haven't played Ghostbusters, play it on there. Because I tell you what, it's so good. Really doing well with that one. And I've also been playing Manor Lords as well, which we will get onto later. As you can probably tell, it's quite a good game. Because I think all of us have actually played it. So love it, brilliant. Right, so that's our update for what we've been doing this week, or last 2 weeks. Sorry, I do apologise. Last 2 weeks. So let's have a chat about the news. We're going to start with quite a big topic, and I'm pretty sure a few people are going to have a few things to say about this. So I'm going to hand it over to Abby, and I'm basically just going to say Helldivers 2.
Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack here, to the point where I've had to break it down into bullet points. So the main thing we've got going on at the moment is that Helldivers 2 players are now required to log into a PlayStation Network account on PC to continue playing the game. So regardless of whether you're playing on PlayStation or on PC, you need that PSN account. So this game originally launched on the 8th of February, so like 3 months ago. It was originally supposed to have the PSN link at the time, but it was delayed for these 3 months due to technical issues affecting the servers literally within the first 18 hours of launch, so they made it optional. And it's been optional for the last 3 months while the player base just keeps building up and building up and building up. in Arrowhead's defense, it has always been displayed on the Steam page that it would require linking to a third-party account. So that's the sort of background out the way there. So on Friday, so literally a couple of days ago, 3rd of May, Sony announced that the account linking would be coming into place by the end of the month. So you will have to be logged into a PSN account to continue playing the game on PC. So they've said that they're doing this so that they can ban players easier and quicker. And sort of without the link, they have to request that Steam ban the player. So that's the logic that they're giving. But pretty much everyone suspects it's more about inflating the number of PSN user account numbers. So, you know, when they've got their quarterly reporting, they can be like, oh, yes, look at all these extra PSN account users we've got. So this has created a few issues, to say the least. So PC players are being forced to sign into a PSN account, even if they don't have a PlayStation. And we already have to sign into like EA accounts, Ubisoft accounts. So it's just sort of further adding to that. This has been brought in outside of the normal return window for Steam refunds. So normally you get sort of 2 hours worth of gameplay before you can, and after that you can't request a refund anymore. So it feels like a bit of a dick move to introduce it once the game is that well established. Sony is saying it's for security reasons, but the PlayStation Network has been hacked a number of times now, releasing people's personal information, such as, you know, names, addresses, things like that.
Nothing important.
No. And I think the biggest issue here is that there are a lot of regions that don't actually support PlayStation Network access at all. So the game was sold in countries that don't have access to the PlayStation Network. So, like this is I don't think this is a developer issue. I don't think this is an Arrowhead issue. This is a Sony issue. So what the CEO of Arrowhead has said, that they knew about this requirement 6 months before release. So that begs the question, was this in the original contract? Because this game has been in development since 2016. But they only knew about this 6 months before release. So I think that's an interesting point there. Sony have sort of retrospectively changed the FAQ on their website. So they've changed it from saying it's optional to some games will require this. So that's a change that they've made to their FAQs after this announcement. But in other languages, it still says it's optional, so they haven't even like fully sort of done that change retrospectively. And the Helldivers page on PlayStation Network also still says it's optional. So it's just all a bit of a mess. Massive dick move from Sony, like, excuse the language. Massive overreach, I think, as well. But also, like, I think Arrowhead's community management could have also handled this a little bit better. So an example being like one of the community managers on Discord says that it literally takes seconds to set up a PlayStation Network account. So what's people's problems? Which, to his credit, he did backtrack on and apologise, saying that he didn't realise that PSN was unavailable in so many countries. So following that, it currently has over 100,000 negative reviews on Steam, which is something that the community managers are actively encouraging people to do. So, like, the way that they're coming at it is that, like, having a go at them on Discord achieves nothing because Sony aren't going to see that. The only things Sony are going to see are refund requests through Steam, negative reviews on Steam, and generally speaking, people just not playing the game. Like, that's what they're going to notice, so that's what they're encouraging people to do, and that is what they are doing in droves. And since then, I think this morning I saw this, the game has now been delisted on Steam on the 177 countries that don't have PlayStation Network. And at the moment, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we know if this is Valve doing this or if it's Sony. But what I do know is that Valve have started issuing refunds to players who have got like over 100 hours worth of gameplay. So on Reddit, somebody from Lithuania posted their correspondence with Steam, basically saying, look, this is fraud. You've sold me a game that I can't physically play now. And he had, I think, 97 hours worth of gameplay at the time, and they've refunded him anyway. So there is a precedence there for Valve, I think, doing the right thing here and possibly covering their asses a bit as well.
Absolutely.
Because I think this whole thing is just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
So
I think that the Arrowhead CEO, I think, has handled this like the best that he can. Like, he's actively engaging with the community. Like, he has apologized. He's basically said that he's like in our corner as gamers, but it is in Sony's hands. So like the latest update from him this morning was that so this is literally a quote from him. On a serious note, we are talking solutions with PlayStation, especially for non-PSN countries. Your voice has been heard, and I'm doing everything I can to speak for the community, but I don't have the final say. So I think we're literally at the moment just waiting to see what Sony do with this. But I think what they were doing was that they were saying that countries that don't have PlayStation Network will still be able to play the game. But then, like, countries like ours, like, why are we still having to do it? Like, it should be optional, in my opinion.
I agree. It should be. And just stating for what you say, it was unlisted from 177 countries. There's only 195 countries. So that's an absolutely massive balls up. And what they've done, they've lost billions of people in a set. Well, if you count it, every person had one, which obviously they don't get that. But that's billions gone. That's not just thousands or millions. It's
Well, I would recommend right now, because you can screen share, can't you? Get the Steam page up for Helldivers right now and have a look at what the reviews are.
Yeah, let's keep talking. I'll get all that up.
Let's talk. Not selling for time at all.
No one noticed anything. Carry on. It's absolutely fine.
So for the Valve refunds, does that mean you get a refund if you bought it from Valve? But what happens if you didn't buy it from Valve? Say, I don't know, like CD keys?
Yeah, if you bought it from CD keys, you ain't getting a refund.
There we go.
Yeah, because mine is from CD keys. So, like, we haven't requested a refund because obviously we can't. So, like, sort of in solidarity with the community, if you like, we're just not playing the game at the moment. Because that's the only thing that Sony are going to notice, like, people not playing the game, not buying the game, and people getting refunds for the game.
Well, there's still plenty of time until this is... Well, if it's for new players, yeah, you're scuppered. But I think for existing players, you got to the end of the month. So I think I will hold out as long as I can and give Sony enough time to rethink their mistake and backtrack on it. But yeah, this is really bad. I played other Sony games on PC, and like you said, while it's optional, I don't need a PlayStation account, so I've been able to play the no bother. But like, was it Spider-Man and what was that? Days Gone. But no, like you said, because Sony's been hacked no end of times, I don't really trust giving my details to them.
It's also made, yeah, we can see Tony's review up on screen at the moment.
That might be obviously with friends and such things. So just to jump in very slightly, so this is it. So you can see at the top where it was massively positive. Overwhelmingly negative with 226,169 reviews. This is absolutely mad, and as you can see, yes, Tony's review. It's probably because he was up there, obviously friend listed for me. But you can see what he's written there. Obviously starred out. You can't tell that. That's fine. We don't know. We don't know what that is. That's fine.
Well, this has made other developers a little bit nervous as well, because the Sucker Punch, the developer for Ghost of Tsushima, have come out and said that you will not be required to log into a PSN account for the single player.
And that's it. And I think
Ah.
I think this type of thing is going to make people nervous to think, hold on a second, if we're going to make people do this, because this has kicked off. This really has all of a sudden blown up from being, well, let's put it this way. For us, it was our game of February, and at the moment, I know we're only in May, would have been probably our game of the year.
Yeah.
Contender.
Easily on track for game of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is now, and not to the devs' fault, not to the devs' fault at all, but is now very quickly falling out of that as well. So, I mean, I hope we've got some positives there. We'll stay away from the positives.
I mean, it is a good game, but like, if you look at like all these negative reviews, they're all directed at Sony.
Absolutely.
And like, I think, in my opinion, I think they should keep it optional, but incentivize linking to a PSN account. So, like, if you link to your PSN account, you will get access to 1,000 super credits, or like you get some like special war bond items or something like that. Like, I don't like the whole forcing people to do it.
That's essentially what they did with Spider-Man. You didn't need to play the game, but if you link to your account, you get an exclusive costume and some other bonus features that, like you said, it's fine. You can play the game, but it's just optional, but you get some extra bonus if you link an account. So fine with
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's still optional, but like I said, we're being strong-armed into it at the moment. And as Noisy Snacks has just pointed out in the chat, this is just Sony demonstrating the managed democracy of Super Earth.
I was just looking at his previous comment about incentives for getting people to try and keep playing. To be honest, the only incentive really they can do now is you don't have to have your PSN account linked to it. That's going to be their only real incentive, because a lot of people are either going to boycott it now or they'll get very bored of it very quickly.
But the thing is that if Sony sort of able to get away with this and like there's no repercussions for them, they'll just carry on doing it. Like they'll probably push it onto Ghost of Tsushima and whatever other like Sony IPs come to PC. But it just seems like such a big fall from grace for me, because like Sony and PlayStation, like for me, we're always winning like the whole console wars between them and Xbox. But now it just feels like Microsoft are just absolutely killing it.
That's because Game Blast is Game Blast, Game Pass.
No anymore. You had your run.
Do you know what? I've done. That's the third time I've messed up what I'm trying to say, isn't it? Now, I mean, I've done Australian. What was the first?
Stick says, so yeah, you got Shaggy's mixed up earlier.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I've got the Scooby Doo Shaggy instead of it wasn't me. And then I've done Australian, and now I've just gone Game Blast instead of Game Pass. But still, Game Pass is the best. So, carry on.
And I was just seeing that comment from Sticks in the chat saying, who in their right mind wants to link their Steam account, which has their credit card information, to Swiss Cheese, aka the PSN.
Thankfully,
like PSN is known for having so many issues. Like,
yeah.
Why?
Thankfully, I don't have
It's
my
just
credit
bad,
card
innit?
details on any of them.
Well, I do, but like linking to a credit card gives you extra protections in the form of having a credit card and like chargebacks and stuff like that. But even so, like, I don't really want the hassle of my account details getting leaked.
No,
Because there is a precedence for that on PSN.
and
So
have we had it with Microsoft? Have we had it with Microsoft?
I don't know.
In the past, I can't remember.
but
To be
that-
fair, Microsoft are a very good company for that, you know.
But this is what I was
Yeah.
about to say. Yeah, maybe we can't remember, but I'm pretty sure we can all remember the last few times we've had it from Sony.
Oh, I mean, there was the big PSN where they took it down for like 3 months because they get rid of the oh god, what's that OS called? No, I'm just drawing a complete blank. Used to be able to put one of the other PC OSs on. Just drawing a blank on its name now. Oh, I actually learned it in college. Anyway, you used to be able to do that, and they took that out. That was one of their selling points, and they took it out, and it cost them money to do it. And not only that, it annoyed a lot of hackers. So they went, "Oh, really?" And they made them pay for it.
Bastards.
Yeah, but I hope the suit that decided this pays and not anybody else. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Hope they pay with their job because they have screwed this up.
Yeah.
This is monstrous. It absolutely monstrous. It absolutely ridiculous. Because I won't be playing this until it's sorted, and it's a shame.
I think they should force everyone to link their Tesco club card to their games and get points that way. I mean, I'll take some more club card points.
Well, club card, Nectar, anything that gets me points, I'll take it.
I hope they'll backtrack.
I think they'll throw you.
Yeah. But Sony haven't released any kind of statement whatsoever about this. Like the only people like actively addressing it are Arrowhead and like their community management. Like they're fully bearing the brunt of it at the moment. So I think on Monday, well tomorrow, I suppose we might hear from something from Sony. Because it's the weekend, they're not going to say anything yet, are they?
No, they'll be shitting themselves thinking, right, lads, bank holiday weekend, what do we do? I say that as if it's bank holiday where they are.
Well, as a long-term issue as well, I think like if they don't do something to rectify this, it'll make publishers think twice about. It'll make developers think twice about using Sony as a publisher.
There you go, sticks.
Like I think Arrowhead didn't really have much of a choice because this Helldivers is a Sony IP, so they own it anyway. But like if they're developing their own game, I can't imagine Arrowhead would ever use them to publish again.
By the sounds of it, if you're going to have a PSN account, then they should have just released it on the PS5 only rather than release it on PC. But it's just going to kill them with a loss of player base and revenue from it. It's just a complete open goal. So, but they got 3 days to sleep on it, panic about it, and then come back Tuesday and go, right, how are we going to sort this?
Yeah, so in the comments, we got sort of comments saying Sony is not known for backtracking, which is a fair point. But then Tony's also point there will be a statement 2 minutes after the stock market's open. So if it affects share price, then they may actually do something about it.
Well,
there we go. The fact that Forbes has picked up on the story with a negative inflection towards Sony gives me a smidgen of hope. So if it's going to hit Sony in the wallet and in the share price, then we may actually see something come out of it.
Yeah,
so
it's the best place to hold them.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What's that noise? He's just come back with. I read that forced PSN account thing would have been a thing from day one, but their servers couldn't handle it.
Yeah, so I think they did try to implement it straight away, but like I don't think you could connect to any servers. Like it just literally wouldn't work. So as a temporary fix, they made it option that they disabled it, so you didn't have to do it to allow people to play the game. But it's apparently taken 3 months for that to get rectified. So like that time difference, I think, is a bit of an issue, and I don't think it's been sort of widely publicized that this is coming throughout that whole period. It just feels like it was just sort of dumped on us on Friday. Like I knew about it anyway, but it's just like I feel like it should have been communicated a bit better that yes, this will be a requirement moving forward. We can't do it at the moment, but it is coming.
I must admit, I knew nothing until people started saying to me, "Have you seen the crap about Helldivers?" And it looked at it, it was like, "Oh wow!" I had no clue anything like this was absolutely coming. Nothing. What you got from Kieran?
Steam is littered with a dozen or so games that were beloved at one point, and then for one reason or another, they turned their player base against them.
A couple more comments. What we've got, Kieran. It also feels like the Sony completely misunderstanding the PC ecosystem or having the arrogance to think they can bend it to their will.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Yeah, I think Sony are just trying to like sod PC. We'll do what we want.
The only reason I can think they've done this is just to boost engagement. Like, so they can say, "Oh, we had so many more people playing PSN these months."
Yeah,
It's all
to boost the
Yeah.
account numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all just Steam users.
But it.
I think it should be required.
It's just not worth
you
the
want...
squeeze. Sorry.
No, I think it should be required if you want to have crossplay enabled.
Yeah,
I'd be fine with that. I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I get that.
But again, it should still be optional. Like, you should be able to disable crossplay and just play with PC players if you want to,
Exactly.
and not have to sign in.
Exactly, because there's going to be plenty of PC players out there. There's going to be plenty of PSN players out there, But
Yeah, I've seen that they've been called Snoy, the third faction.
Oh, that's a good one.
I talk soy. Soy's delicious.
Oh, bro. Right, I think.
Yeah. So Tony just said they spent the last 3 months getting a whole community to work to a common goal. Then screw that community over, and now wondering what everyone is doing.
Do you know what? It just sounds like the government done it.
Don't get too political.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to stop
Don't bring
there.
politics into
Right,
video games.
I'm
Come
gonna,
on.
Yeah,
Them
otherwise
local elections, eh?
we're going to get
Yeah,
demonetized.
that's true.
Right, on this rate, I'm gonna move on from Helldivers now. Otherwise, we could be here for quite some time, and I'm gonna get us in some serious trouble as I carry on because I will accidentally get political, and I'm not political. But nice one, bro. Really topical subject at the moment. Quite possibly in our next podcast, we'll talk about it a lot more as well, because hopefully we'll have some sort of correspondence with what's been happening, what's been going on, what are they going to be doing about this, or they'll just come back with tough, like it or lump it, and it'll be like, right, okay, so we can have those conversations, I think, next time, because hopefully in 2 weeks' time we'll have more to sort of come back at it. So
We should have a video on the whole thing out by then as well. I'm literally just waiting for an end to the fiasco, and then I'll push out a video with the whole lot on it.
So keep an eye on that on the YouTube channel, and that will be up. Brill, nice one. Thank you. So actually, that moves on quite nicely to another piece of news, which Pete will just have a quick let you know about.
Yeah. So speaking of Valve and refunds, people before have been sort of exploiting Valve's kindness, and that for early access, I believe, I need to double check this. I believe you could play pretty much as much as you wanted for an early access game and still get a refund from it. So this also included games that were launched like before the official launch for whatever reason. Maybe somebody got the game early for review purposes or things like that, and people were able to play through all of it and then refund it. Valve are closing that loophole now, so it will be the same usual 14 days and no more than 2 hours.
Which is good. That's how it should be. But I must admit, sometimes it's a matter of, back in the old days, you used to buy a game and you wouldn't go and get your refund because you didn't like it. You'd go and trade it back in, wouldn't you, to get another one?
Yeah, it's what makes, so what we're doing today, with the game of the month, and then later on this year we will do game of the year. It's what makes it tricky, because where do you put Manor Lords? Because Manor Lords is not ready. It's not done.
No.
Yeah, that is a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
so
do you count it from when it's fully released, or?
Yeah. So that would be give it, the best, suit the chance to win. However, at the same time, like a lot of the games are about zeitgeist, and Manor Lords this year has the zeitgeist for it. Is it going to have that when it comes out, say next year or maybe in 2 years? Which it's one person developer, so it could very easily be even longer than that.
We'll come into a bit more about the Manor Lords bit later, because I've sort of encountered a couple bits on there where I was like, Damn it! But yeah, we'll come back.
I've got a lot to say about it.
I know we'll come back to that one. And Tony's just gone and said that it wasn't early access. It was games where you buy an edition where you get to play the game.
That was it. Yeah. Thanks, Tony.
So you're on the line, on the right track, sort of thing. But Tony sort of steered you in the right direction. So that's what we have him for.
Thanks, Tony.
Tony's our official fifth member. He just doesn't join us on the actual live part.
No.
And just to let everybody know, I'm sleeping with Tony, so that's why he's part of us.
Oh, okay. Is it your turn tonight then?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I know. I hope he's ready.
God.
I hope he's ready. Anyway, we'll skip past that bit. Yeah, screw speak.
So I'm fine with Valve doing that, unless it was for Suicide Squad, in which case Valve are evil for doing that. Because why would you? Suicide Squad?
Well, if they've made an exception for Helldivers, I think they should make an exception for that as well.
Yeah, but Helldivers is an official reason. Suicide Squad's just
it's
crap.
fraud.
It's fraud. You said this was supposed to be good. It's not. Okay, fair enough. Brill, nice one. But yeah, I agree with that totally. Actually, I agree with the sense of if you buy a game, it's tough. You bought it. If you don't like it, you either keep it or you trade it and don't get as much back. But anyway, that's me.
This is why I like physical copies nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I don't like it, I can sell it or I can go and trade it in.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling really cheeky, I'll refund it.
Or if it's not, then you're stuck with it in your library forever, and you think, why the hell did I buy that? Or a couple of years later, you think, I'll try that again. Nope. Okay.
The only problem with that is everybody else can see your library. Go, oh, you bought that game. Was it any good?
Nope.
I
And then
think
you
you
have to
should be
explain.
able to have a marketplace for the games that you don't like, but it would be absolutely full of Suicide Squad and Redfall and things like that. So maybe the more I say that, the more I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. That definitely won't work.
No, do you know what? That is a great thing for games that digital games that you've bought. There'd be a great way of you actually, selling them on or trading them in for another one. There you go. Right, something for us to work on. Money venture going on there. Anyway, sorry, we'll move on. I'll pass this over to Pete and Jacob because they absolutely love the Embracer Group, and I know they've got amazing things to say about it.
Who?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Who we're talking about?
Star-Lord.
Yeah, just Embracer Group anymore because things are going so well for them. They've had to split into 3 different companies.
So it's better than Sony.
I get the sentiment.
It's a really low bar.
Yeah, Sony's been bad, but they're not Embracer. Come on.
Yeah, but Sony hasn't put anybody out the job yet, so Embracer has.
Oh, it's going to happen soon.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
Let's wait 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like every time we talk about layoffs, though, we get demonetized.
maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah, try to keep the workers down.
Try and put a
But these are
positive
important
spin.
news.
Try and put a positive spin on it.
All these new people have returned to the pool of available candidates for jobs.
Is there a new CEO
No.
needed? No.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Keep going places.
so
Positive spin.
sorry boys. Go on, crack on.
So one of them is Asmodee, which will cover the tabletop games. I actually forgot that Embracer owned a whole bunch of tabletop games. I need to look. I think they own things like Settlers of Catan, which is a massive board game. Has anybody played it?
No, I haven't.
No,
If you're not, oh, Settlers of Catan's great.
I don't really play tabletop games.
They're really good. Recommend.
No.
But yeah, Jacob, what's the next game or the next thing they've divested into?
What's the next company is Coffee Stain and Friends. So who they've got underneath them? So they've got Coffee Stain, Ghost Ship. Is it Tazia? Tuxedo Labs, Amplified Game Invest, and publisher THQ Nordic. So yeah, I don't really know most of the companies apart from THQ. So it's Okay, interesting. See what comes out of that. And last one.
Yep, the last one is the best name, Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. That's awful. Just
Was
absolutely awful.
Was the and friends even necessary?
It's
Like,
got
if
Ross
it's-
and Rachel in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if it's it's mostly Lord of the Rings games, right? So why do we need the and friends in that?
Well,
Unless I'm
it's-
reading that wrong.
Expansion.
No.
They won lumped with a lot, and that's a lot of really good studios. So
Friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
friends.
they,
Oh, game friends.
Yay.
That was game friends.
so these are going to focus on new Lord of the Rings games, as well as I imagine some other things. This company has 4A Games, Flying Wild Hog Studios, Dambuster Studios, Crystal Dynamics, Tripwire, Eidos Montreal, Vertical Games, and Warhorse Studios.
On Eidos Montreal are helping out on Fable, I think.
Don't get too
That rings-
excited.
Crystal
That
Dynamics are
that
doing-
rings a bell for something.
I believe it's Tomb Raider, isn't it?
I just find it's going to be a bit weird. You boot up the next Tomb Raider game, and then
no,
it's
they're
going to come
helping
up
out with
Middle
the
Earth
Fable
Enterprises
game.
and Friends.
No, they're doing Perfect Dark next.
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
sit.
yeah, there is that.
I'll sit there and I'll
they're doing
laugh.
Tomb Raider.
I'll tell you, I'll laugh about it. I really will. But
Following from that, after they published the list of the free companies that came out, the Embracer, what's after, the CEO said this is nothing to do with the backlash they've been facing for the past few weeks, months, however this has been going on for. So he said these name changes are strategic decisions aimed at allowing each entity to develop its own unique brand identity. So basically starting from scratch.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, tailored to its specific business focus and to maximize its potential in the market.
they'll end.
Yeah, they just want to start from a clean slate, but
Yeah.
we all will remember. So
We're not idiots.
I mean, if the group is that big, then it might be a good thing, them splitting into separate like subsidiaries. But I don't know.
I know.
maybe it's
It depends how
think-
much restructuring comes with it, I think.
it is the Embracer Group, so anything can happen.
Mm.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
All we know is the CEO is definitely not going to have any consequences for screwing things up so badly.
Oh no, not
No.
at all.
He's done a great job,
him,
exactly.
him, you know, him and Sony have gone on holiday together, thinking, "Yeah, we'll just unleash it and see what happens."
Yeah. Well, it's the literal mood of getting a hand grenade, pull the pin out, roll it into the room, and then close the door and run away.
Oh, God, absolutely, yeah. You know, it's like farting under the covers and then just waiting for it to just unleash.
Oh yeah, waiting for the other half to move. And
Absolutely,
rock it
yeah.
around.
That was a similar analogy. What's with that one? Sorry. Anyway, Brill, nice one. So we move on. I'm just noticing something from Noisy in the chat, sort of saying, "I'm glad that nobody can see my Steam library." I'm actually quite disappointed. I think you should post a massive shot of it so we can all
Well,
see it.
if you're friends with somebody, can you see their Steam library?
I think, did they have to
Should be able
let
to,
you?
yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, you can change it now so that you can.
I see. You've got some dodgy. I'm sure he's told us some dodgy games before as well.
There was one about needing a poo.
Yeah, there was something like that. Something like that. It's like Pete and that vibrating game from the olden days. I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, Rez.
Who?
Rez.
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 Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a normal game. That was just a
Yeah.
deviant controller they put out for it.
You just seem to have vibrant memories of it all. That's what I remember.
I remember reading it when I was in high school. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Even in high school, I was like,
All right. Yeah.
Oh.
You know.
I wish I'd got into gaming sooner now.
Hold on. What was that noise? That was Tony running out the door to go buy one. Right, Right, sorry. We'll crack on, move on. So Jacob's got a little bit of sad news.
Well, the end is nigh for the Xbox 360 store. So after so many years, it's now 20. Well, after the 29th of July, it will not support purchases. So you won't be able to buy games, trials, add-ons, anything on the Xbox 360 store or anything on the Microsoft website for the 360. So if you want to make any purchases for add-ons, games, anything like that for the 360, do it before the 29th of July. Otherwise, that's it. The 360 is slowly coming towards the end of its life.
Well, I'm sure glad that I bought Sonic 06 through the Xbox 360 store about a year ago.
Mm.
I
So
think,
this-
no, and Crackdown. I bought Crackdown through that as well.
What game?
The first
That
Crackdown,
was-
yeah.
Yeah, the first one was amazing.
So go
but-
buy that. It's like £2.
Yeah, but this also includes is it the codes from gift cards and that. So you need to redeem everything before the 29th of July.
Jesus Christ.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah.
So let me just get me Game Pass bit sorted. Are we still going to have 360 games on the Game Pass?
Yes. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
care then. That's fine.
It's just the 360 store which is gone. So, like for Crackdown is a good example. It's not on Game Pass. I'm not even sure if it's backwards compatible. So to buy like a digital copy, I had to buy it on the Xbox 360 store.
Hmm.
So it's things like that that you'll lose. So after this, if you want to play Crackdown, you need a 360 and a physical copy if you want to buy it and play it.
They'll become hotcakes. They will. The price on them will shoot straight up. I think even Kieran looked like he's crying about it. I tried all the agility
Crackdown's an
tokens
amazing game.
in Crackdown.
it is.
And could hear sound outside of the game. It ruined me.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Kieran. Like I played that so much. Like Crackdown 3 is on Game Pass, and I didn't think it was too bad, but it's just not the same as that first one.
Amy's come back with, what's Crackdown? Amy, I thought you were a gamer. You've disappointed me. Mind you, you like Destiny, so that's even worse.
It was one of those games where, well, the main reason a lot of people, well, I can't justify if it's the case, but I know one of the reasons people got it was because of the Halo 3 beta. But then the game itself Crackdown was actually a very good game. So you got to test out Halo 3's new multiplayer modes, and then you got an amazing third-person shooter out of Crackdown as well. So win-win.
Ah, win-win.
I like it when like you fully level up your character and you can just do that Hulk smash into the ground and just like destroy everyone in your general vicinity. It's so fun.
Such a good game.
But, yeah, just
Like you're driving and the car actually transforms.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
The days, back in the days, innit?
I should say there's making more of them, but like the two is taking the third game are not very good.
2 was okay, 3 was bad.
I actually quite enjoyed 3, but I
Was
think
it?
it was
Okay.
more just coping with the fact that it was the only Crackdown I could easily play.
They made it.
And I think that's the thing that most disappoints me about this store closing down. Is just the amount of games that are just going to be gone at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many Xbox Live games that just didn't get released anywhere else. That were under contract with Microsoft for one reason or another and just didn't see release anywhere else, and they're just now gone.
So,
So
well,
we should maybe come up with a list of ones that are worth getting while we still can.
yeah, so main thing is if you purchase it already, you can download it, re-download it, do as much as you want. That's fine. It's just like saying, just you got to make sure those purchases are done before the end of July. That's all.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Brilliant.
But if you got a game that's backwards compatible, that's just got the list. As an example, with Star Wars Force Unleashed, so you should still be able to buy that game on the Xbox One or the Series X. They'll play on there, no problem. But it's just on the 360 store. That's all.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there's a good number of 360 games that aren't backwards compatible.
Mm.
So those are the ones that you'll lose, right?
So they'll be the ones you'll be eBay, hunting.
Yeah, and it'll be the basic games only. So let's just take, well, I don't know if Call of Duty or any of those backwards compatible, but let's just take that as an example. So you could buy the disc for the base game. That's fine. You'll be able to play it on the 360. But if you got a code for the expansion packs for the maps, then the code is useless.
Right. Okay. Right. There you go. That explains everything about that one then. So make sure that you redeem everything now, and buy all that you need. Otherwise, by August, you're buggered pretty much. So
Yeah. Tough titties.
Exactly.
tough titties. There you go. It's come from the girl herself. Sorry. So right. Cheers, for that Jacob. We'll move on to your next one.
Yeah, this one took me by surprise. So a lot of us use Discord, and apparently a load of users' messages has been scraped and sold on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, this was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? That happened.
Yes. So Discord are taking action; they're investigating it. But what's been happening is it's web accounts that were tracking users, archiving the messages, saving all the data, and then using that data to sell and make money out of it. So it's been claimed that over 4 billion public messages, including voice data of up to 620 million users, has been scooped up by bots across some of Discord's biggest servers. And this is including games from Minecraft and Among Us. It's been scraped up, packaged, and sold on the internet.
Lovely.
Great, innit?
I mean, like, if they're scraping my messages, it's mostly memes.
Scraping any of our stuff, it's just, what the hell are they on about?
So, are Discord doing any, or have they done anything about this to stop it happening again?
So
I know about it, but not about like the consequences.
So they banned the accounts responsible for the attacks and are now considering legal actions. So the response they put is, our safety team has been diligently investigating this activity, and we identified certain accounts that we believe are affiliated with spy.pet, which is where the information has been sold from. So, but the website's been shut down. It's been investigated and closed. Which we have subsequently banned. Based on our investigation, the accounts access Discord servers that were open and available for anyone to join, or where the accounts had easy access to valid invite link. Once in these spaces, these accounts could only access the same information as any other user in those servers.
Sorry.
So
carry on.
So this is this private messages. There's no suggestion private messages were at risk or personal data. It's just anything that was outside of that.
So I've just noticed what Tony's gone and put on the chat that
the last two messages in that chat.
Yeah. So Noisy's apparently got his willy out on Discord. So that's now for everybody to see.
But if you've got a PSN account,
yeah. and Tony's kindly come and said that Discord are in talks with PSN about their security. So
Top meta on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Comedy gold right there. Love it. Right, well, thanks. Cheers for that, Jacob. That's obviously showing us exactly what Discord are doing at the moment. They're part of the PSN family. No, I am joking. Unfortunately, there's going to be hackers out there all the time that are going to do crap like this, and that's the biggest thing that's a pain in the arse. Security is absolutely
careful what you put in writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
they're scraping voice data as well, then I'm fucked.
Yeah, well, be careful what's in writing. Be careful what pictures, and be very, very careful what you enter your bank details on. Otherwise, God knows what's going to happen.
And be careful where you post your willy.
Absolutely, absolutely. If it's through my
So he's got
letterbox,
it on the dress.
if it's through my letterbox, a dog will have it. We'll move on.
Or the willy or a picture of it.
A bit of both. He's not fussy. Pete, crack on, mate.
Yeah, so everyone remember Redfall from last year? The definitely game of the year.
Yeah, I remember it. I
think-
remember.
Yeah, you played it, didn't you, Matt?
I did.
I
Well,
played it well.
I tried. Sorry, can I note? I tried. I was very trying with it. Very trying.
Same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got to the first the fire station, and the cutscene played. I was like, really? This is what you're going with? It's like it's a massive AAA game. You know, this is what you're going with. You know, this is what Arcane's doing instead of making another Dishonored game. Okay, fair enough. Does that great use of resources, Bethesda?
Wait,
But yeah, it has now been out for a year.
woohoo!
I was going to say no cheers, but thank you.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo!
And the people who bought the deluxe edition are still waiting on the 2 promised DLC characters.
Oh,
With
So,
no.
did they pay extra for this?
Mhm, yes.
On the promise that they would have this DLC within a
believe so,
certain
yes.
amount of time.
I'm so
That
happy.
sounds like an issue waiting to happen there as well.
I'm so happy that Game Pass gave me that for free. Thank you, Game
Or
Pass.
for $13.99 a month.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I get lots of other games with that. They can all be seen on the internet.
So yeah, the last update for that game was 6 months ago, and there's been no movement on when these characters are coming.
I feel like they've just given up on it.
Yes, but they promised these people characters, and so they should give it to them.
They should, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they can be as janky as the rest of the game and they'll have fulfilled their promise.
Not wrong.
Come on, Redfall, sort your bloody life out.
Yep.
I tell you.
That's why I don't buy any of these special editions or season passes or anything like that anymore.
Oh,
No, like the one for that Star Wars game that's coming out.
oh
like that
suck
can
my
fuck off.
balls. No way. Jesus Christ. How much was
Outlaws,
it?
That's it.
How much was it?
Yeah.
It was over £100, wasn't it?
Oh, exactly.
For-
yeah.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
My God, I shit a brick when I saw that.
Yeah, to play the Jabba the Hutt missions.
Oh,
Why
honest-
do I need a battle pass for a single player game?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
terrible. Need money.
I'm going to see if it comes to Game Pass, and then I might think about it.
Game Pass. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
See, Game Pass. It has its big points. Now some.
When you get a sponsorship, I'll just not stop talking about them.
I am. Could you tell I'm trying? I'm really, really trying.
I know.
You need to write to them.
I will
See,
do.
Phil sent a message. Just like, Phil,
I
love
will
your
do.
work.
Yeah, I love it. Come on, look, listen to my podcast. I'd say it every week, and I've got
Come on if you want.
nothing from you. Right. Anyway, sorry. Well, thanks for that, Pete. Lovely. Thank you. Right, we'll move to our last piece then, Jacob.
Yes, everybody, have you played Jackbox before? I'm
Meg-
sure some of you
not.
have.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
During
know what?
COVID,
Yeah, we
loved
played
it.
this amazing one called Is it Murder Mystery Party, which
Have you
The
had that party?
American-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
there was-
Tony's favourite.
Tony's favourite, absolute favourite.
So yeah, we've dabbled a little bit in it. And have you ever thought while playing it, yeah, this is great, but it's not risque enough?
No, I've never.
No,
No.
not when we've been playing.
No, I think we make our own risqueness.
No, exactly. So, but apparently, people have been saying that they want a more risque version of Jackbox, and developers have listened. So, there is planned a pack for adults called the Naughty Pack. There's going to be 3 games in it, but nobody knows what they are at the moment. The details are going to get leaked or shown throughout summer. But yeah, I looked at it and go, well, it doesn't need to be risque. It gets made risky by the people that play it. So
Risqueness.
And
yeah,
and purchase.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like it's a good idea, but to be honest, we make the game as risky as we want it to be. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
what they're
that's
gonna do.
exactly what Noisy Snacks has just said in the chat. Like, all my Jackbox games end up about as not suitable for work as they can go. And that's exactly the same when we play it as well.
Yep.
So I'm not sure how they intend to top that, because I feel like a lot of people play the game the way we do, maybe.
Yeah, especially our responses in Quiplash, they are definitely not safe for work.
Well, I'm guessing we'll have more like risque prompts.
They're not really
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
suitable for life. Half the things that we say and
No,
whatever.
definitely
in
not.
the,
Not certainly not suitable for a live stream.
No.
Definitely not with Alan playing with us.
Just life in general.
No.
I wouldn't go in my back garden and talk about it just in case your neighbours here.
And they save all of your answers. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah, because-
access them on a website.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, the website you
It'll
go
be
onto.
Anne Summers level party. Anne Summers party level of naughtiness.
Jesus Christ.
I would be tempted to buy it just out of sheer curiosity,
Yeah.
because between us, only one person needs to buy it for us all to check it out.
Oh well, there you go. Well volunteered.
Well, Tony's got all the other ones, so I'm volunteering him to buy it.
Do you know what?
I'll buy it for him. It can be in his library and not mine.
Do you know, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for Tony tonight because we've sort of ripped him a little bit.
Oh, he's not here to defend himself.
That is
he?
very true. Yeah, if you actually come and
No.
joined us, you'd be all right, Tony. But no.
He defends us in the chat, but doesn't defend himself in the
He
chat.
needs to
but,
back up Pete. Like, it's one Scotsman versus 3 English people. Like, need a bit of balance.
There you go. Look, Amy's come up with cards gets you humanity level sort of player. Yeah,
Yeah.
Amy, it's exactly the same. Yep. If you want to turn it as if you're a horrible human being, then yep, you could do that as well. Because cards against humanity, I have had some very, very wrong answers in that one. Brill. Nice. Oh, here we go. Tony's poked his head out. Yeah, that's not fair. You need more English people to make it an even fight.
Exactly.
Oh,
Me versus
fighting
you.
talk.
No, I'm not going to say anything. It's going to come out wrong. Anyway, that's the news. That is the news. Some quite bad bits on there at the moment. Not a lot of positivity, which is an absolute pain. We'll try and bring you something positive next time. We'll send you a picture of Jacob getting dressed. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Is that positive?
Well, it just gives people a giggle.
Well, whatever self-esteem I've got left is now gone.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. If I fart, my body wobbles. There you go. Did not expect that one today. Okay. Right.
No, I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought I'd say something like that, you see.
Someone said clip it.
Do you know what?
A
Please.
fruity aftershock.
Right. Let's move on to our main topics. 64 minutes in, and we're just getting to our main topics. So, our first one, Manor Lords. Or, I'll tell you what, should we do our game of the month first?
Yeah, I very nearly swapped those around.
Yeah.
There you go. I've swapped them around.
There
for
we go.
you.
Right. So, for those who haven't listened to us before, at the end of each month, or in this case, the start of the following month, we do our game of the month. So we've had a game of the month for January, February, March, and now we need to do April's game of the month. Okay, so this might not be ones that we actually have physically played. It might be ones that we've read, watched, or seen other people play. But it's ones that we sort of think, do you know what, that deserves our game of the month. But I think actually this month we've all played at least one, in some people's cases maybe 2 or even 3 games that we've got. So I mean, I'll throw it out there for the first one. Content warning. I haven't played this, but I think Abby has.
Yeah, I've only played it once so far. It was very late at night and I was really tired. But like for me, it's kind of the return to that almost quite cozy feeling of that sort of indie developer, nice little game feeling that we had from Lethal Company.
Yeah.
I think it's very much like it's quality almost is in the people that you play it with. Like hence why like Lethal Company is one of the most streamed games of last year. I think it actually won that on the Twitch Awards. Content Warning has a similar kind of vibe to it. Like it's a co-op thing. It's something you can have fun with friends. But yeah, I've only had a chance to play it once so far. But I love the fact that at the end of each game you get a video from it as well. So like you could like shove that up on YouTube with no context whatsoever, and I think it would be hilarious to look back on.
I've seen quite a few people actually play it, and I think actually I watched a lot of them with you guys, with you and Tony, didn't I? So we were watching them play it, and it was hilarious. And then, funny enough, I went and bought it. I bought it, but I haven't actually played it yet.
We like to do that though, don't we? Like we
Yeah.
buy games and then we spend ages not playing them. But if you're around after the podcast, we could always play some Content Warning.
That sounds like a plan. Absolutely.
Because I'm not playing Helldivers at the moment, so
No,
I'm open to other games.
I've got an open slot. Absolutely, yeah. So for those who don't know, Content Warning basically it's you set like a recording. I'd say Abby, you could probably explain it better than myself.
Yeah, so you're a group of budding content creators hoping to make it in the in-game YouTube world. So you go off in your little spaceship and explore an area, and you have to film supernatural goings on. And the more quality content you produce, the more views you get, and the more likely you are to progress on from that. But in our first attempt, we didn't get enough views, and our YouTube career did not take off. So you hit me right in the feels there.
Oh, but it does look like a real fun game. So and again, like I was saying, if you've got the right people that you play it with that just have a laugh, because it records your voice and that as you're doing it, it's
It's so funny.
you
Yeah.
just come out. If you've got somebody with comedy gold, which with with Pete, with one-liners, it works. I was expecting a one-liner there, and I was quite disappointed, to be honest.
He did that on purpose.
He did. I know he
I
did.
was saying that
Yeah, he
if you're
tart.
hanging in the wind,
Yeah. Cheers, sweetheart. Love you.
love you, babe.
So, bro. So that's Content Warning. Next game we've got is Topspin. Topspin 2K25. Bit of tennis. Who put this one on?
Well, I think I built a lot of the list, so I struggled to find some. But the reason I put this on, I just looked at the and it's been 13 years since the last Topspin game came out.
Oh Jesus! I think I remember Topspin on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, so there was 1 to 4, which 4 was 2 generations ago. So it came out on the 360, the PlayStation 3, but then it just sort of disappeared for God knows how long, and then now it's come back. So you could probably gather it's from 2K. So, but yeah, there hasn't been that many tennis games since between those two.
I think you're right. Mario Aces on the Switch. Hello.
Well, yeah, there is that, but yeah, but how many other games?
Yes, continue.
All right. Look, I've just gave you one. Don't ask for any more.
Yeah, just the one.
Yeah, maybe that's all you need, Mario. So, but yeah,
Everybody used to get games of every sport.
Oh God, yeah.
You used to
Absolutely.
get rugby games and cricket games.
I remember years ago when obviously you had the skateboarding, Tony Hawk's. Then all of a sudden you had Matt Hoffman come out. I was like, right, okay. Then all of a sudden you had Kelly someone surfing. I was like, How the fuck have you made a game about surfing?
That's Sean White snowboarding.
Yeah, I mean, no, snowboarding, that was great. I'm sorry, but
That's because it was just skateboarding with snow.
is it Tricky X? I can't remember now.
Oh,
SSX.
SSX.
There we go.
Yeah, oh, they were
Yeah,
great games.
awesome. But yeah, it was the surfing one that got me. I was like, how the hell? No, thank you. Anyway, sorry, Jacob. Yeah, so Topspin's on there. Has any of us played it?
No.
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 I just hope it's not going to become one of those annual sporting games that come out and each year it's just like, what have you changed? Barely anything.
Updating the players.
The other way, yes, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that exactly. I agree. So nice one. So next one's really nice and easy. Sea of Thieves, come on the PS5. So we've all played Sea of Thieves. It is a really good game, but it is nice that it's come over to PS5. And I am right in saying it is cross-play?
Yes.
You have to
I
have a
think so.
PSN account?
That's the point, isn't it? I have mixed feelings about this because it didn't come out in April. It just was released on another console.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that one, yeah, because that's just a re-release.
Yeah, like it. There's nothing different about it. It's not a remaster. It's not a remake. It's just the game on a new console.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's worth acknowledging because it's like one of the games that Microsoft is testing on.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
the
honestly, if we
platform,
were
isn't it?
considered for this, it may actually win.
No.
Quite possible. Well,
Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But yeah, so Sea of Thieves on the PlayStation 5.
So very well, from what I've heard.
No, which is good, yeah, and I'd expect that as well.
It's a perfect cross-play game across
Yeah,
like all platforms, I think.
and we've got Amy in the chat who loves it as well. So good, better than Skull and Bones. Anyway, we move on. Biomorph. Now I have no clue.
So I can talk about this one. So I haven't bought it, but I intend to get it only because it hasn't released on the Nintendo Switch, and it looks the perfect game I want to play on the go. So if you played Dead Cells, it is very similar to that, except one of the unique features about the game is you can kill the enemies, and once you kill them, you can morph into that enemy to solve puzzles in the level.
Okay.
Is it on Steam?
It's on Steam, but it does look really good. So if you like, yeah, unfortunately I don't have a Steam Deck, so that's why I'm going to wait for
I do.
it to come out on the Switch. So,
I've got one.
yeah, for what I've seen, if you like Dead Cells, you'll definitely like Biomorph.
Okay, I'll have a look at that.
Biomorphing Power Ranger. No, just me.
Biomorph
I
sounds
don't
like the
know.
most generic late 90s game title, which ties into your Power Rangers quote you've just made.
Has anyone played Path of Titans?
No.
No.
Oh, I think I played it for like an hour.
Okay. And your thoughts?
If it's the game I'm thinking of. Nope,
Oh.
it's not. It's not that game. Nope,
Okay.
forget.
No. Then no, Amy.
Nope, definitely not that game.
We
Something
haven't,
else.
we haven't played it. A bloody fly fuzzing around. Go away. So that's Biomorph. So by the sounds of it, a good game on the go if you've got the right console to play it. Yeah. So there you go, Jacob. Buy yourself a Steam Deck. It's well worth it. Trust me.
I'm sure. Well, yeah, I might have to get one now.
No, honestly, yeah,
I'll sell you mine.
there you go.
Okay.
I was thinking of upgrading mine. so-
300 quid.
Yeah, mates rates.
Oh, for those who don't know, Jacob and Wabby are related. I very nearly said married. That could have come out really wrong.
That's
Jesus.
no.
So anyway, let's move on from making another mistake. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, aren't I? And even though,
Yes,
even
and
though
I'm going to judge you for it.
Pete said it earlier. So I tell you what, I'm just going to Chronicles 100 Heroes.
Go
Sorry,
on,
what was
have
that
a go.
for? Chronicles?
Chronicles.
I'm not
Before that?
sure.
Look, if you can't hear it, it's your problem.
I mean, you should leave a gap. You just keep saying Chronicles.
Yeah.
Chronicles.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
I'd maybe start with Ayuden.
That's 100% correct.
Hey.
Euden.
Uden.
Euden.
Euden. So, of course.
It sounds like I'm playing Street
and
Fighter.
I definitely don't have it spelled out phonetically for myself in front of me.
Isn't that German for Jew? Uden is, yeah.
Oh God.
Right, quick. So, Pete, go on, talk about it.
Well, as I was saying earlier on, it's a Suikoden-esque game. It's a JRPG where the gimmick for it is that you can recruit an insane amount of people. Funnily enough, the 100 Heroes is not just a bit of fun. You can recruit 100 people in this game for your party of 6. They all have, most of them have got very short side quests that you do, and you can either do it before to unlock them, or you do it after you get them. A lot of them, or not a lot of them, some of them will be more involved as you get them through the actual story rather than just side characters. But yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air, honestly, to play it through it. Nice strategic battles. It's been, as I said, God, I can't remember the last time Konami made one of these games. So the market has been lacking for it. It reminded me of playing Chained Heroes a couple of years ago, which was very much like Chrono Cross and Final Fantasy VI. So this taking me back to the past, as some might say, and is genuinely intriguing me with the story right now. I'm going to give you a bit of a preview, but I think they should beat Manor Lords. I know no one else is going to say that, but I think it should.
Where can we play this?
You're going to make me say it, aren't you?
Is it on Game Pass?
Yes, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, I can literally see it on Game Pass.
It's
yeah.
on Game Pass, everybody. If you haven't got it, please get it.
We're going to have to stop it. We're going to have to put a collar on him that shocks him if he says Game Pass.
Do you know what I'm going to do for next time? I'm going to make a song up about Game Pass.
You can open the podcast with that.
Game Pass, Game Pass.
No, but not yet.
Oh, sorry. I'll
give you a couple of weeks to work on it.
I was practicing.
No, you definitely need it.
Yep.
Thanks. Nice. Thanks, lad. Thanks, Pete. Bro.
Yeah.
So that's what? How do you pronounce it? Euden. Euden Chronicles. We'll move on to Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade.
So I haven't played this. I do actually want to play it because I think it looks fun. But I think Stellar Blade, from what I've seen, has been very much caught up in discussion on how the character looks rather than how the game actually plays.
I was about to say of this one that we've heard from people saying about how characters
jiggle physics, outfits, blah 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 blah, boring. But like my understanding is it's a really good game, but like it seems to be a difficult one to talk about without getting caught up in a discussion about how the character looks, which is just ridiculous, to be quite frank.
Yeah. From what I've heard, it's a very solid Devil May Cry Bayonetta / game.
Yeah, I think the only criticism that I've heard about it from a combat point of view is that it's more, it leans more towards parrying than it does dodging. So it actively encourages you to do that rather than dodging, whereas I prefer the option to have both, play either way. But that's just feedback I've heard from one person, in that it actively tries to make you parry rather than dodging. But yeah, I think it's one that I might have to retrospectively have a look at when we get to Game of the Year. Because to be honest, there was that much controversy around it. It just put me off going anywhere near it.
Yeah. And you can probably get it for cheaper later on in the year anyway.
Yeah, and it wasn't on Game Pass, so I wasn't able to play it
straight away. Game Pass!
I mean, it's a PS5 exclusive, so it would be hard.
And that's true, yeah.
Oh. I got excited then.
So I think from that list, it's probably, critically, the highest sort of reviewed game from April. But my personal pick would probably be content warning, to be honest, out of that list so far.
Well, this probably brings on to the last game of it,
Mm.
and then another actual topical piece just to talk about as part of our main point is Manor Lords. Now, admittedly, I'd not really heard much about this until Abby had actually said about it. Oh, it's like, you've got to play; it's really good. And essentially, it's now I've always been a massive fan of Civilization. Love playing it. Brilliant. You know, used to play it with friends. Used to be one of those games of I'm going to pop on for an hour and just sort of do it. Yeah. 5 hours later, I'm like, holy shit, I've been playing this for a long time. I'm not going to say I played that long on it, but I definitely played longer than I thought I would. When I says, yeah, I'll give it a quick go and see what I think of it. And then I think it was about 3 hours later, I'm still on it. And I'm like, holy hell. So basically, it's kind of, it's a similar game really to sort of Civilization. You know, you're starting up your own village community.
Yeah, Pete told me it was like Black and White, but without the god element. So that was what got me playing it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're starting it up, you're getting them to, farm, hunt, bring them on, feed them. They've got to get them to be ready for all the different weathers and that.
Yeah, so it's like a city builder with the RTS element as well, but yeah, it's very intricate, I think is the word I'd use to describe it.
Absolutely, and admittedly, it's not an easy one to just sit there and just instantly play, and you can do it. There's a lot of learning as you get on, and there's not a lot of there's a bit of help in it to show you what to do, what this and that, but there's not a massive amount of help there in the game to sort of say you need to do this to have this or this to have that. You sort of have to go along with it, or you Google it, and obviously somebody will have something up there for you to sort of learn from. In myself, I just literally sort of kept playing it and sort of be like, I wonder if I do this, that'll do. That does this. So I worked bits out whilst playing it.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah,
isn't it? And it's definitely error. On my part.
absolutely. For me, I was trying to get food. I was like, I've got that and I've got that. Why aren't they doing anything? Oh, I know. I need to make a path to there and tell them to hunt in that specific area. Oh, now I've got food. What do you know? And then, I need to tell them to go pick those berries. So I need to make a path to those berries. So, you sort of work little things out like that. So as you kept going, it took me ages to figure out how do I get more people into my village.
Yeah, that just sort of happened on my playthrough. So
I built loads of houses. I built loads of them. Just kept building.
Yeah, I built way too much, way too quickly.
But they came, then after I built them all, I just kept filling them and filling them and filling. So I got more people coming, so I could do more jobs, and you get things done a bit quicker. But I don't know about you. One thing I couldn't work out is I can't trade. I don't know how to trade. How do I
managed to acquire a horse.
Where'd you nick it from?
Yeah, well, it was on the trading post, and then it said request horse. So I did that, and now I'm not sure what the horse does.
I've not got that yet. I've not got it. It hasn't.
Have you built a trading post?
I've got a trading post, yeah.
Oh, I don't know then.
Because when you go on that, and this sort of brought me on from our conversation from earlier about when we're talking about early access stuff, because this is an early access game. You can't do quite a lot of stuff on there because it's still in it. They're still making it, and it actually says that in the game. I can't give you an actual bit off the top of my head. I know, yeah, like loans and that, and borrowing money and stuff like that. You can't do that bit at the moment.
Yeah,
because that's still in development. So it's not actually physically part of the game, but it's there. It sort of shows it's available, but it does say when you hover over it, this is not available in the early access game period. It's like, oh, right, okay, with it. And there's a few bits like that on there, which sort of then made me think, I wonder if trading's part of this. Like, I could build a trade post, but I just can't trade.
I've definitely been able to. Well, I've been able to acquire a horse, but I think I think you can trade when you take over neighboring regions, and then you can trade with those.
That's
But I haven't got that far.
No, I'm the same as you. If anything, I know we talked about it earlier. Bandits is the biggest pain in the arse. I think you've had it worse than me because I've only had them nick everything where they're burning you down.
Yeah, my village has burnt down twice now. So I'm currently stuck in a loop of building everything up. My approval rating goes up, which is nice. And then my village gets attacked. My tiny army gets wiped out. They burn everything to the ground. My approval rating tanks, and then I build it back up, and the cycle starts again.
Yeah, you get.
So I regret having the bandits.
Yeah, you get stuck in a loop, and I'm just. Noisy's put something up there. It reminds me of a 90s PC world building game. And do you know what? You're very right. Do you think of like the original SimCity? It kind of reminds you a little bit of there, but just not as a modern era type thing.
I mean, I like it so far, and I think it's a tough one to include for like April Game of the Month because I don't see it as a complete game yet. Like, it's not finished. It's still a work in progress. But I'm enjoying it so far, but I think it's very difficult. It's got a really steep learning curve. And I think because it's just one guy working on this, there's probably things that seem really simple and straightforward to him. But to the rest of us, we're just like, I've got no idea. Like, during my playthrough, I ended up with 25 months worth of food and 0 months worth of fuel because I'd no idea how to make more fuel.
Oh, did you not? If you go onto a bit instead of making, because you get all the.
And you need a logging place and a
Yes.
sawmill. Yeah, I
Yeah.
worked it out eventually. I
Yeah.
consulted Google.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I looked at that when sort of everybody does it slightly different. So, but yeah, for me it was the opposite. I had loads of fuel. I had no bloody food. I had like 1 month.
I had lots of berries.
Yeah. So easy to get the berries, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm slightly different in your respect with that because for me, I think I really like it. Yes, it's early access, and I think it's such a great start up. And how it is, and you could still sit here and play it for ages and ages, even though it is only early access, and there's still quite a lot accessible to it. But I don't know, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I really did, and for when I've played it, I've not played it since the last time I played it. Of course, I haven't, Matthew. You did, but Jesus, but yeah, it's not bad. How about you two? What did you two think?
I was enjoying what I played of it. I don't know if anybody else. The first upgrade, I always take the double berry yield.
Oh.
So you can double how many berries you can pick from the same spot. Just makes getting food a lot easier, at least for me.
You cheated.
I'm not cheating. It's an upgrade.
No, you cheated.
Why did I cheat?
Because you can't do that in real life.
It's part of the game, though.
It's part of the game.
Yeah.
We're part of the game.
Do you not do it, Matt, then?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Makes sense how you've no food.
Yeah. That does. Yeah.
But yeah, I got to the halfway through the second year. Was just trying to settle around the farm I'd built. I was trying to pull a couple of people from it to go work on. I think it was. What was I trying to do? Maybe lumber. I was trying to get more wood because I was running out of wood for fuel. So try to move them onto that. And I noticed the wee symbol where they were just turned into a wee spinning circle. I was like, huh, that's weird. So fair enough. Tried to add them to the lumber mill. He's like, oh, you've not got anyone free. Looked up and seen there's no one free. I was like, that's weird. Went up to the farmhouse again. Still wee circle. I went, oh well, I'll just take more then. Took more out. More spinning circles. Looked up in the top left hand corner, and I hadn't had any unemployed families. So yeah, I lost half of my tenants just through a bug. couldn't get them back, and they were still up there. So I still had to feed them, but they couldn't work on anything. It was utterly heartbreaking, and I pretty much stopped playing the game after that.
Ah, no.
Yeah.
You just need to start a new playthrough. Like, my village has burnt to the ground twice, and I'm still chipping away.
No, I did start another game, so I got played a wee bit of combat as well. But yeah, it took the wind at my sails so much, which is why I was like, yeah, early access. Like, this is the type of I'm not blaming the developer or anything. That's the type of things that happens in early access. But yeah, it was a bit of a kick to the groin.
Oh dear. What about you, Jacob?
I need to put a bit more time into it. I haven't done too much for it, but it's a lot more in depth I was expecting it to be. Because I played other strategy games, maybe I was just going in a little blind and thinking, oh, I'll figure it out, no bother, and then start going to it and just like, yeah, I need to figure out this whole fuel and food and fuel supply, make sure nobody dies. It's more difficult than I was expecting it to be, but I'll put some more time. Hopefully, won't get burned down too many times, but we'll see.
How's your settlement doing so far?
I can't. I'll just have to look it up again, but they're still alive, so
Woo!
yeah.
That's a bonus.
I had to put mine to work on like putting bodies in a burial pit. Like that's how mine's been going.
So nobody lived near Abby.
Yeah.
You'll end up in a hole.
Well, it's
Oh, dear.
mostly bandits that end up in the hole, I think. But
Oh dear.
it is a tough game so far.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely. I'd like to see what the finished product looks like.
I'd love to see, because surely there'd be more stuff added on there. I'd love to see, but
Yeah, so I
yeah.
think it shows a lot of promise, doesn't it?
Oh,
But at the
absolutely.
moment, it's just absolutely brutal.
Oh god, yeah. But for me, I do like that. I do like it.
Yeah,
in
it
that
sounds like you're doing
sense.
pretty well on yours.
I think I'm just fluking it. I bet you when I go on it later or whenever I'm next on it, I'll be like, oh bollocks, I'm dead.
I tried to play it like black and white, and I was like, why can't I just build all these buildings myself?
Well, I just tried to use a bit of common sense when I was doing it, and I think that's the only way I've muddled through some of it.
I found it tough when like you've got too many different types of buildings. Like, I've got like a blacksmith, a sawmill, a forager's hut, a hunting camp, like all of these things that contribute to the community, but not enough families to work in all of them and work on construction at the same time.
And that's why at the start, that's why I built a lot of houses to actually get the families in.
Are those burgages? Or
Yeah, that's it.
whatever?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
and I've upgraded 3 of them because that way then for some reason when I've upgraded them, it's actually got me another family around. So
Yes, I've had that as well.
Yeah.
Like I've upgraded mine to like have chickens and
yes, yeah,
make weapons and stuff.
exactly. So as I've gone on, families have then just started arriving. I think there's like 30 families or something in my
Oh,
in my
okay.
village. So actually, they're doing really. So I've managed to at least get a family in each of my buildings. What I'm trying to do, and then I've got a few available for building and such things. So, but yeah, so that's Manor Lords actually. So for me, it's a really good game, and personally, that would be my April game of the month. But this isn't for me. This is for all of us. So we need to decide on what our April game of the month is. So what I'm going to do, we'll go round. We'll pick people. What do they think is their game of the month for April? So Abby,
Content warning.
you got content warning. Jacob,
I want to say
Back to Jacob,
Biomorph.
because Jacob seems like he's going to be the spoiler, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Because mine's going to be Aiden Corgos.
I think it's going to be a hung result, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Jacob?
I want to say Biomorph. I really like the look of that game.
Just going to be no contest this month.
Wow. So we've got 4 different games which we all like. In that sense, I think on top of all of that, for myself, on top of all of that, the only one that I've probably really like the look of next to it all will be Content Warning, because Biomorph I've not seen anything of. Sea of Thieves, that's already out. Let's be honest, that's years old. Top Spin, no.
I think the only reason I wouldn't say Manor Lords is because it's an early access. Like the game isn't fully released. So say like it's an early access in April, and say it fully releases in October. You could have it eligible for Game of the Month in both months.
I picked Content Warning for April.
Yeah, well, we had the Atlas trials for last month, and that was when it had its full release. So
Yes.
I'm quite happy for Manor Lords to appear again when it gets its full release.
Right. There we go then. So this month, edging it by a hair, is Content Warning then, is our April Game of the Month. I haven't played it, but I've seen a lot of it. Abby's had a little go, and it looks like a really fun game. So if you haven't played it, get on it. Download. I think it's quite cheap as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was about £7 when I bought it, but I feel like we should try and play these other games as well by the end of the year, because we might decide Eiyuden Chronicles is Game of the Year contender, and Stellar Blade as well, like all these other contenders that
Just to
we
help-
can actually get around to playing.
Just to help with Biomorph, there is a demo available on Steam if you want to try it out. Yeah.
Demo.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah. I'd actually like to try Alone in the Dark at some point.
Oh yeah, when was that? Was
That
that?
last month.
March.
Last month, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was,
Well,
yeah.
not last month. Yeah, the last one. So
Yeah, so we should keep that list up there anyway, because it can basically just be a wish list of games that we can play.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So there we go. So April's Game of the Month, Content Warning. So I'll just quickly run through. So in January we had Power World. In February we had
Hello.
Helldivers 2. But veto that for now until Sony sort their shit out. In March we had Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and in April is Content Warning. So those so far are our games of the month of this year. So
And somebody's already put a game in for May.
yep,
Yes, I did that one, and I am very eager to get that game when it's released.
Is that coming straight to Game Pass?
it is indeed.
Correct.
It is, yes, because
Okay.
what a
So-
fantastic thing Game Pass is.
So that's Hellblade 2 for the listeners.
Game Pass, Game Pass.
Stop.
See, I'm so,
Seconded by-
so excited by it. I've already pre-installed it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's because Game Pass is really good. It lets you do that. Right. So that's it for this week. We've actually overrun quite a bit, but we had quite a lot to talk about. Helldivers 2 took us probably quite a bit, half an hour, 40-minute conversation, but it was a good one. Hopefully, we'll have more update on that in our next episode in 2 weeks' time. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Please carry on coming back to our channel. There's lots of content on there. Abby's going to be putting up more content. One of them being obviously a bit more about Helldivers in itself. And I believe you've got a Manor Lords video to come up as well.
Yeah, I was hoping to have that edited tonight, but I got distracted. So that will be going live on the channel tomorrow. It's just a really quick first impressions video. It's not a full review because obviously the game is by no means in a finished state, so I'll just be going through my disastrous first playthrough in my first properly edited video since January last year. So I'm a bit rusty, I think.
That's
but
fine.
getting back on that content train.
Absolutely. And Noisy Snacks, you're welcome for going in my ears. I enjoy coming in your ears, Noisy. I really do. Thank you very much.
God.
I had to get that in there. Brill. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As I say, please like, subscribe, join us again in 2 weeks' time. We will be back with more content, more talking what we talk about, as that's what we like to do. Twitch viewers, I'm sure Abby might be on at some point again.
Yeah, I've been rubbish at going on Twitch lately, so
So
someday I'll finish Alan Wake 2.
It's coming. Someday she will be
Yes,
on there.
maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, and that's Starbuck_C17 on Twitch. So please get on there and view or like her, and then wait till she's online. The rest of us, it doesn't matter because we're never fucking on there. We're on here instead. But thank you very much for listening. Have a very pleasant evening, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Ta-ta!
GTFN. Ta-ta for now.